That's interesting. Didn't know that would happen.
This is me developing a dish for Trinity, and you can let me know in the comments if you think it should be on the menu at Trinity. Over the summer, spent a bit of time in France, I get into the French mood. Boudin Blanc is a thing, white sausage. And we're gonna make one for Trinity. So we're gonna elevate that gourmand style. So that's by adding all the great stuff like duck liver, pistachios, truffles, Armagnac. Enjoy.
Okay, to make our gourmand sausage, we need chicken breast with cream and an egg here. Going to season that up. Going to then make a mousse out of that and finish that with truffles, duck liver, pistachios, chives, and a bit of truffle juice and Armagnac. Going to use sausage casings to pipe into to make a sausage, and then there's a wonderful garnish to follow. Good? Okay, let's start with that chicken breast. I like chicken breast to make mousse. Just think it breaks down better. Chop it into pieces to make it user-friendly for our RoboCoupe. That needs to be chilled, by the way. It's been in the fridge for an hour. That's really important. I'm going to go in with a whole egg. That's important too. I'm going to go in with a little bit of salt. It will need more, but I go in with that now. Okay, that wants to get busy and into a nice puree. While that's happening, we're going to then pass that through a drum sieve or a tamis like that to get all those fibers out and create a really smooth puree of chicken. You need to blend this well. You need a Magimix or a food processor to do it, but it's a great skill to have in your armory. Making a chicken mousse is a beautiful thing. It takes a lot of work. Okay, that's that done. Out comes the chicken. I find it easiest to put the chicken in one place. Do this with duck and do it with grouse. Do it whatever you want. Don't put all the salt in now because it tends to kind of cook the chicken and make it very difficult to pass through your tamis. So be careful with that. Just pop that on there. There, lose that. Okay, then just start a little bit at a time, passing that through like so. That's the bit, look at this Sam, look, that's the sort of stuff you're trying to get rid of so that doesn't end up in the mousse and these white fibres. This is what makes a really pure puree that then turns into a really lovely velvety mousse. I'm just pulling a little piece of the mousse at a time. I'm not trying to drag the whole thing through. I think that's the key to it. Make sure this is cold, make sure the RoboCoupe's cold, and make sure you're not doing this in a warm room because you need to keep this as cold as possible. You're going to be working with it, agitating it, heating it up, and we need to keep it cold. Right, that's gone through nicely. Then bang it through like that. Make sure it all comes through. Clean side of the scraper. And before you make that mousse, what you want to do is just chill that down in the fridge for about 20 minutes to make sure it's nice and cold. Okay, so that's that. That is that chilled down chicken puree. That's going into a bowl, over a bowl of ice. So we're keeping this cold at every juncture now. Goes in there like that. That can go away now. Just taking a lot of care. So there's ice water underneath here. And we're just going to work that inside. I'm going to add a little bit more salt now. I'm then going to add to this double cream. Just a little bit at a time. Don't be putting lots in there. Don't use whipping cream. Don't use single cream. You need to use double cream. And we just need to get that cream amalgamated into that chicken breast. You know, and like everything else, the better chicken you use, the better double cream you use, the better quality egg you use, the better something as simple as chicken mousse will be. And I think a lot of people make chicken mousse or look at chicken mousse as almost a sort of secondary byproduct, whereas in fact I think it's the other way around. Because it's so simple and it's so processed like this, it does need to be as good a quality ingredients as you can possibly use. I actually made a sort of sample of this when I was on holiday using guinea fowl. I stayed near the region of Bresse in France, which is famous for its incredible poultry, and we bought some delicious guinea fowl. And those guinea fowl were brilliant in a mousse. You could feel the depth of flavour and the terroir and the brilliance of those guinea fowl. So I just think use the best quality ingredients you got. I'm adding this in almost like a sort of mayonnaise one bit at a time, trying to create enough there to be able to really get some rhythm and moving that mousse around like that. That's what we're looking for. That noise is what we're looking for as well, that movement. We're really working the protein, working the cream in. What I'm doing, I'm actually pushing the mousse really firm into the bottom of the bowl to sort of create that, where it's pushed in, creating a bit more of a paddle. So I can really push that mousse around. And I'm looking to it to get to a really stiff texture, but have absorbed about the same weight of the cream as there is chicken. So that's important. This hasn't got quite enough strength for me yet. Nearly, but getting there. Okay, so that's probably had about the right amount of cream. I'm just going to do two things now. I'm going to see if that drops on the spoon. It should just drop and leave a holding there. This is what I'm looking for, this kind of hold there. That's good. It's also a colour thing. I kind of want it to get down to sort of that pale pink colour. So before I start adding anything luxurious or expensive into this mousse, I'm just going to test a bit of it there. Just drop it onto some cling film. Going to be able to check the seasoning at this point, check how much cream's in there, the density of the whole mousse, and ultimately how delicious it is. And just roll that up, make a little sausage, a little tester. And we're just going to poach that in a pan of simmering water, just to cook it for about 4 minutes it'll probably take. You'll feel that the mousse will really firm up. Just seal that at one end, turn it over and seal the other end, like so. Let's give that 4 minutes in simmering water, give it a test, see if we need to adjust it, and then we can add all the good stuff. Okay, so what we need to do now, just cut the end off. Basically squeeze that out. Got a nice whole form. All we just need to do now is just sort of test how squidgy that is. Watch the seasoning is pretty spot on. Take a tiny bit more salt probably. That's the texture of the mousse. It's nice and smooth. There's a tiny bit more salt, but that's it. Tested mousse. Adjust. Next stage. Okay, so now we're at that fun stage where we've got our mousse, the mousse that we're happy with, and we can start loading in all the good stuff. As per my tester, just needs a tiny bit of salt, needs some black pepper. It needs lots of lovely bright green Sicilian pistachio nuts. It needs some chopped chives, a few of those in there for nice colour. And this is a really sort of loaded sausage. This is truffle juice and cognac. It's going in there. This is a little bit of, these are poached Australian truffles. We buy the truffles from Australia. We cook them in a mix of red wine, port and Madeira, and then we store them. It's a nice black truffle going in there. And then this is some duck liver that we've just pre-sauteed and sealed off, because that roasted flavour is what we want. It's going to really elevate that. Put all that in there. That's really important. This is still undercooked, so it can still be cooked a bit more, but it's got all that roasted flavour. Okay, that wants to be folded through now. So into a piping bag, as per my previous video. In that bag is a piping nozzle already, and that's really important. I just use a little tub or something to be able to hold that bag nice and steady for me, because more important for me is to make sure we get everything out of this bowl and don't waste any product. Now is pipe this into sausage casings, and the sausage, these are sheep intestine sausage casings, so they're quite small. but they're going to allow us to sort of create basically a sausage. So I'm just going to, because it's a small amount we need, we don't need a proper sausage maker. Basically just get that sausage casing onto the nozzle end of the piping bag, and then as we pipe through, the mousse will shoot through and create a sort of nice sausage shape for us, which we can then poach. There we go, that's tied at the end, so that's now going to get piped onto there. Going to tie that off nicely, like so. Decide sort of how big we want these to be. That probably feels about right. Okay, so that's the shape of our boudins. I'm happy with that now. All that string will come off afterwards. We've got a pan of chicken stock there that's seasoned with salt, and we're going to pop those in. I'm going to put a little plate on top just to submerge those down, and then we're going to simmer those no more than 80 degrees and just let them come up and very gently cook. Then we can get on to the next stage. Okay, so the sausages have had about 40 minutes, very, very, very slowly poaching. They're not even sort of 65 degrees, 70 degree water, chicken stock, just come up and gently cook. Now, I've let them cool down. They're nice and cooked and firm now. Take them out. Remember, this is an experiment. This is a dish that, if we get it right, will end up on the menu at Trinity. So it's a kind of a bit of a behind the scenes R&D project for me. So let's now, we can just cut through the boudin, take it away like that. I think what we need to do is, I might leave the casings on actually. I'll take the casings off of one of them and leave it on. Just want a nice gentle fry now. They're going to spit a little bit because they're a bit wet and warm. We'll just pop those in like that. Just want to create a nice colour, nice and gently. Ooh, that's interesting. Didn't know that would happen. It's R&D, isn't it? Didn't know that would happen. So what I've done now is just remove those casings and then into gentle oil, and we get a little bit of colour in that. Go in with a little knob of butter. A nice deep rich colour on that. Okay, now out comes that fat. Into that pan goes a little bit of very special double chicken perigore sauce. This is our kind of red wine sauce that we use. A little splash of water. And then back in with the sausages to get a nice glaze on them. isn't it? So in here are some cooked cocoa beans. Cocoa beans are super French. Cocoa de Pampignon, super seasonal, late summer bean, cooked from fresh. A few chopped chives and a little bit of that lovely truffle liquor in there as well. A little bit of salt mixed together. A little bit of olive oil to sort of lubricate nicely. And that's going to form the sort of basis of the base of this dish. So they're going to go straight on the plate first in my little vision that I've got in my head. It's a bed of cocoa beans, truffled cocoa beans. Then it's our wonderful boudin and whatever else goes on it. And we'll get Harry and see what he thinks. This dish is going to take a bit of work to get on the menu. Could be great. Then what we're going to do is just lift that boudin out, like so. Use a sharp knife just to sort of clean up the ends of it. Boudin goes in the middle. Nice glazing of sauce. Like so. That sun was rather obedient there, wasn't it? And then just going to hit that with a little bit of black truffle to finish it off. This is proper French gastronomy at a level. Layers and layers and layers of flavour with all the harmony in the world. There's some refinement to do, but I reckon that's a pretty tasty thing. So there you go, Harry. That is, you know, I've been talking about this kind of Boudin Blanc Gourmand. That's my first attempt at it.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting, you know, when you visualise something, it didn't work as I visualised. It was more tricky than that.
Yeah.
Actually, what was interesting was trying to fry it in the casings. That didn't work. You have to take the casings off. I think you have to take them out of the poaching liquor, then chill them completely, take off the casings, trim them, and then pan fry them. That was a mistake in here, so we learned from that. The glazing was great, but I think what I'd love you to do is just understand like whether you get connected to the texture of the mousse, the flavour, the depth of profile. And ultimately, it's a very simple thing. And the question for you really is, does this live up to where we want to be at Trinity, what we're trying to push at Trinity? You know, the level of food we're delivering at Trinity is very high. Does this sit amongst it? That's the question. So,
understood.
yeah, let's get involved.
It smells and looks outrageous.
It's a pretty decent chicken mousse. It's a good chicken mousse.
It's a very good one.
It does have that. It does have that gourmand, that the duck liver, the truffles are there, pistachios there.
Yeah.
It has that layered thing, right? I actually like it. I think the sauce is very good. Yeah. I don't know if the beans are right, actually.
Truffle bomb puree.
Maybe.
Well, it sits in really snug and cute.
Yeah.
Sauce over it.
Yeah.
And it holds the sauce a little bit.
And then maybe we put a little truffle puree or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really want to lean into everything that is indulgent and incredible about France. Everything duck fat, everything truffles, everything duck liver and foie gras, everything pistachio, all that stuff that's kind of just super indulgent about France. I want to capture that on a plate.
Yeah. I agree.
So this is a dish that's kind of Lyon and beyond.
I think what's nice is there's no acidity, there's no pickled shallot, there's no vinegar gel, there's none of that. It's leaning into
That's very me though. No. Yeah. That's very me, the way I do things. But and you're right, often nowadays French food is modernised by all those great techniques of adding acidity and pickle and twills and gels and all sorts of stuff that balance. But these things add balance. When they're done with the lightness of touch that you have, they're done with balance. And I really respect that. Sometimes it's good just to indulge.
Yeah, I agree. Very, very nice.
Here you go, you want to try?
Yeah, of course.
Sausage and mash?
Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah.
That's what Anna got. Anna got that cheese mash.
Yeah.
Oh my God.